emotions can you cover up the pain? Diamonds and silver rings to Halloween. I can't move my hands and my numb I used to be black and blue.
My boyfriend walked in, and at first I thought, he was coming to check on me, doing the nice boyfriend thing. And then his best friend followed behind him and locked the door. And they proceeded to gang rape me for about 2 hours.
I was raised in a very abusive household under my father, my biological father's watch. It wasn't healthy, and there was a lot of bad things that happened.
The sexual abuse, yeah. I dealt with it as a child by a family friend.
Rape, domestic violence, attempted murder, and really pretty much anything that you can think of.
When you're in an abusive household, you not only you have to live with the fear and the terror of not knowing what's going on.
Growing up, I kind of built up that hard exterior, I'm just going to be tough because that's what I have to do.
When they left, I was bleeding. I was hurt. They left me to die. They didn't care what happened.
People always go, well, why didn't you tell? I find that people blame the victim. Why didn't you tell? If you get raped, why didn't you fight?
When you're in a place of pain, things tend to be out of perspective, especially when you're very young. It's confusing. And for a very long time, I blamed myself for what happened to me, even though it wasn't my fault.
It's your fault because you're bad. There's something wrong with you. You're just inherently some sort of damaged person, and that's why they picked you.
The victim is not at fault for anything. You don't ask for this to happen to you. It does happen to you.
For me, it was kind of almost a little bit scary to be around people who knew, because they also knew the emotions that went with it, right? And I wasn't used to facing the emotions that went with the things, because I was always used to just pretending that everything was just fine. And so for me, it still is a little bit scary because it makes me very vulnerable.
You don't want people to look at you as being damaged because you already feel that way.
And it was almost like armor, putting on armor, because this is who I am. What they see is what I am. And then I would get home and I would immediately change into pajamas and I would curl up in bed and cry. And then I couldn't tell my parents. I couldn't tell my brothers.
Drug seeking behavior, any downers, that was always kind of my choice, is just to be numbed out and shut off.
So we all walk around with a smile, but a lot of us are in pain.
When you do try to go to somebody, to hear them judging you based off of the decisions that you made, it hurts. And it doesn't make you want to speak up. Why would you want to say anything if nobody else around you understands and everybody's just going to have something negative to say back to you?
Wield your taser, your pepper spray, maybe even your gun. Hold your keys so you can split an artery. Do not go out alone. Stay in lit areas. Be aware, you're out having fun. But God damn it, you're not aware for just 1 second. Live your life for rapists, says the media. Live your life so it will never happen again. Bullshit promises. They cannot protect me. If someone really wants to hurt me, maybe they will. How then is anyone supposed to live? Why don't you focus on someone else? The rapist, maybe? Focus on potential rapists instead of telling me how to adorn my body or where to go at night. You tell them. You scream it as loudly as all that patriarchal bullshit that you have said to me. You make them hear it. You tell them if they would steal a heart. If they would silence the tears of another. But no one will tell me. This is not ending rape culture. You are enforcing the silence and the guilt that bears on my back. I will speak. You will hear. That is it.
Hi, Hi, I am Marjorie Boswick Phoenix, and I am the founder and CEO of Giving Voices Project. This organization actually started from my story that I was reluctant to share in the beginning. Shame, embarrassment, confusion, all of these emotions that I couldn't understand how what I was feeling would transfer into helping someone else. But when I did, the floodgates opened up, and there were women just raising their hands and coming to me, sharing their stories and emotions and experiences. We weren't just creating a community, but we were creating this safe space where we could come and share with one another. I think that long after I'm gone, this organization will be here doing this work and telling stories in such a way that I probably can't even imagine.
My license didn't have a mark of organ donor. Back then, my organs was one of those few things left, as everything else was getting worse. They kept me warm at night. I was just selfish. During the 5 years that I had to think about it, I wanted to give them away so badly. The path to my uterus had been marred by you, and my brain stewed in your callous remarks. I would do anything to change that status. I was selfish. When I turned 21, my license proudly displayed the mark of organ donor. My organs mean something now. My heart can give love as if the dam was bursting. And my lungs now can breathe in pure air. No longer selfish. When I move on and all I can offer that which is tangible and the hope I have, I hope that you, whoever you are, will take my organs, paint the night, kiss the trees, and just love like me.
The Languages of Abuse is our signature project. It debuted in 2017 in a small art gallery in a strip mall. It was a huge success, and it opened the door for our very next production the next year in a small community playhouse. And then the following year, we were in a much larger theater. But basically, what we did was we took the poems and the music and the short stories written by survivors, and we presented them in vignettes through spoken word and interpretive dance and skits and monologues. And we wouldn't be able to do that without community actors and performers and producers partnering with us to make that happen.
Try to love someone that breeds dysfunction, that's filled with so much anger and hatred that it fills the air and suffocates. Try to love someone that is a walking open sore, filled with hurt and infection, stealing love like the Grinch, spreading unhappiness as if it were highly contagious, walking around head high with overconfidence and false bravado, people moving from their path sensing danger. He feels he is walking to the anthem of Superman or Shaft, thinking he will clear path and all of his machismo, not realizing that people can see he is such short burden, and all but him can hear the tick, 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 all waiting for the boom with bated breath. And the one person who cares, who tries to grasp tight, hoping to have the strength to hold together his pieces and hers, trying to stop the human grenade from falling apart and exploding. But this dysfunction causes him to believe that he is greater and better, and everyone is out to get him. That what he is being used from one is not love, but a scam. But he who is seeking love so desperately is turning the one who cares away. Mr. Dysfunction doesn't hear the tick, 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 doesn't smell the burning fuse until it goes boom, followed by sorrow. Then he wants to rebuild the love to put the one's pieces together. Then he wants the one to love him again. He wants to go back to the beginning and promises to be better now. But it repeats like a never-ending cycle of pain and dysfunction. Confusion, crisis, crossing the line between love and hate until there's nothing left in the caring person's heart but the same dysfunction and hate. Or they just walk away and leave him to fall apart and close the hearts. The tick, 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 fading in the distance, leaving the human time bomb to tick, tick, tick. Boom!
Putting pen to paper is like my tears. So each ink drop is a tear. And that's how I cry. That's how I express hurt and grief.
It's become like innate in me to want to write when I feel sad or something's wrong. I'll write or I'll make a poem or something. It's been healing for me emotionally and physically to write out the things that I feel and help others also heal through my experiences and things I went through.
It's been really empowering to work with her and everyone from her team because there's been so many iterations of my work has been used to inspire runway shows and clothing, and other people have read my work, and it's been used in so many different ways.
People came up and started telling me that they've been through it or know someone that's been through it or they're sorry that happened. So I felt really good after that. I felt like, you know what, it's really not me, because I still had a little trace of that. It wasn't my fault. I didn't do anything wrong, and I'm glad that it could help other people.
Lots of people can have shared experiences, but your truth is your own. Share your truth. Other people may see things differently than you and might see a situation differently than you.
It meant a lot to me. Like if someone was appreciating what I had created, and that was very, very valuable for me. So it's meant a lot to me in my life.
The very first thing I ever did with Marjorie was I gave her one of my poems about what happened to me, and she had another person read it. And being able to go, I actually took time off work and went down to watch the performance, and just being in the audience and hearing my words and being able to look around and see how they affected other people was so amazing. It was almost like, here, this is this thing that happened to me, and nobody judged me. They felt sorry for me, but not pity, I guess, if that makes sense. And it was just it was very fulfilling to be able to say, here's this thing that happened to me, and not have anybody, tell me I was dirty or disgusting or any of that.
So empowering to know that something that I thought was from the darkest recesses of my mind was seen as valid and important, and it encouraged me to keep up with my art, because when she asked for something like, hey, got anything new, it kind of makes you think, maybe I should get going on something.
In my beloved head, it's not what you say, it's not what you said. My own voices playing tricks in my head. I'd like to sleep now, all wrapped up in my bed.
We're inviting you in and want you to be a part of that. And I think that's the thing that's really valuable for all of the survivors that are part of the project. Each and every one of these women, I know them personally, and I've known them for years. And I am, I'm so very proud of what they have done with their story. And I'm always honored when they agree to allow us to share their story in a new, innovative way.
I know solitude around every corner, and it's coming about.
yes, you have to go through all the terrible things. You have to face all that. You have to be vulnerable. You have to understand your own emotions.
Everyone has been through bad relationships. Everyone's been through a point where they're like, I'm done with the opposite sex. Something's wrong with these people. I don't understand them. And then the parts that were hurtful that had to do with rape or molestation, so many women have been through it.
It's made us so much stronger being so open. The worst thing that ever happened to me, the thing that I wanted to hide from everybody, and I don't have to hide it.
And then you just keep going and you have hope. You know that if you do the things that you need to do, it will get better.
All that you really do have is your voice, and you do have to find some kind of outlet. Whether it be, if you're not comfortable speaking to somebody, maybe you're comfortable drawing something, or, you have to find that outlet to be able to share things. You can't keep everything bottled up inside of you.
There are accepting and non-judgmental people is just reach out. You don't have to tell your life story. You don't have to even identify what traumas you've gone through, but reaching out to someone like her is what makes a world of difference and can help you get to the other side. And I know that's difficult because we're taught to be silent and complicit and to just buck up and move on with our stuff, but this is what starts the change of healing, is that contact and that community, because then you can't really stop. Once that train starts going, you can't stop the healing journey because people know you and want to uplift you.
It's such a powerful thing to be able to give someone a feeling of closure from the pain that they suffered from. It's an irreplaceable emotion that I feel like a lot of people aren't given the opportunity to do.
We want to bring all of these women who have shared their stories with us. We want to bring them along as well, because there are others out there who are waiting to hear them, waiting to see them, and it's going to make a difference in their life.
If you haven't found your voice yet, Marjorie wants to help you find it. And if she can't help you find it, then she will definitely be that voice for you. Nobody there is there to judge you. Like, they don't care what you say. They don't care what you've been through. They understand that this is a situation that you've had to deal with, and that is a part of who you are as a person.
Only time I really felt proud was standing up on that stage and bearing my soul. Because again, I don't do that. And as a writer, we never really feel our work is good enough. I thought it was me because of what I've been through, but I've spoken to a lot of writers and they all seem to feel that way. So I guess the most proud I was is putting that book out there and just saying whatever happens, happens.
I mean, it's horrible to know that there are this many people in the world that have gone through things like this, but at the same time, it's comforting to know you're not the only one. You're not the only one dealing with these issues. You're not the only one that is being told, okay, yeah, it happened, but that was 15 years ago. It's time to get over it and move on. These women know that you don't just move on. You don't wake up one day and everything's perfectly fine and, you never think about it again. That's not the way it works. Knowing that I wasn't the only person to have gone through this, and knowing that at any time, if I need to, I can call Marjorie and she's going to give me that boost of, you can do this. You're a badass. That, and not just Marjorie, but all the women I've met through these organizations, when it gets really bad, I know they're there. And it's a sisterhood. They are my sisters, and just knowing that they're there no matter what.
Just don't give up. Keep sticking to yourself. Stick true to what you feel in your heart. Find avenues that are healthy, that are good for you. Find people that are good for you, that you can talk to. And you don't have to take anyone's crap. Like, you have the power and the ability to be so much more than everyone expects you to be. And you are not expected to be someone else's toy. You're not expected to be at everyone else's whims, and you do not have to make everyone happy. You are allowed to be yourself and express yourself in the most raw and powerful way that you can. And you go for it, I guess, is the best thing that I can say. Enjoy your life and do the things that make you happy, even if other people think it's weird.
used to be in black and blue. Just me in black and blue. Black and blue. Doctors say it's an easy fix, a couple of stitches to heal the itch. Can't feel my face, although it burns. Oh, baby, I'm just complicated. Or maybe I feel prettier when I be with you black and white. Giving me black, 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 in the black and black, black and black and blue. You're black and white, I'm black and blue, black and black and blue. You're black and white, I'm black and well, cuts are like a memory you just want to forget. But one day when I'm grown and older, the pain won't matter then. And just like leaves fall off in winter, so they'll be back again. But it just takes time to heal from your black and blue. And your black and black and blue. Oh, yes, I know I'm better than this. Yes, I know my heart is worth more than.
Well, I hope that you guys enjoyed the public debut of our film, Languages of Abuse, Transformations. This has been a project over the past year that we decided to bring in film because of COVID. Typically, all of the productions are theatrical in nature, and we bring people together. But because of COVID, of course, we couldn't do that. So we put together this documentary to just highlight these courageous women who have contributed their work to our project, and also highlight all of the work that the organization has been doing for 5 years now. And we're really proud of this, and we want to continue to do this work, but we cannot do it without you. So we want to invite you to support us through, donations, financial donations, your time, your resources in any way to help us to continue to produce these types of projects. At this time, I would love to be able to bring on 2 of my board members to be able to speak with you all. I don't know if Trent is available. Okay. Trent and Milton. Milton? Hey, Milton. Okay, I can't hear you.
Sorry.
Oh, there you are.
I apologize for my state. Right? I was just trying to watch for now because I'm still. I don't think you remember it, but I'm still at work.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't get off till 6, but I'm gonna take a few minutes.
No. I just wanted to introduce you to the audience, just so they can see that we do have some board members and joining us. So we definitely don't want to keep you, but just thank you for being on and supporting. And you can reach out to anyone on my board, myself or Milton, who's the treasurer now, if you have any questions about the organization and if you would like to support. So with that, we're actually going to end out the show right now, and continue to put your questions in the chats. And we hope to see you soon in person with the next Languages of Abuse. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.